This week on ANN, an Adventist community is given the right to worship in a government-owned building for free.
Leaders from the Seventh-day Adventist Church's United Kingdom territory commemorate a peace garden to honor members who remain true to their religious convictions during World War I.
And the release of the major motion picture Hacksaw Ridge will give millions a chance to learn about Desmond Doss, an Adventist conscientious objector from the Second World War.
These stories and more are coming up.
This is ANN, a service of the Seventh-day Adventist World Church.
Thanks so much for joining us this week.
First in the news, Adventist leaders in Italy's small town of Oriolo in the Lazio region are celebrating a recent historic agreement. The Oriolo municipality has allowed the Adventist community, which lacked a permanent place to congregate, to use a city-owned building for its weekly services at no charge. Notizie Adventiste sent this report.
La convenzione è un atto ovviamente bilaterale nel quale i due soggetti, quindi il Comune e la Chiesa di Oriolo Bracciano, hanno preso degli accordi tra le parti. Ecco, questo è uno degli esempi, forse il primo a livello nazionale, di attività congiunta tra un Comune e la Chiesa avventista.
Una convenzione che ci permette di essere ancora più visibili sul territorio e un riconoscimento da parte del Comune. No, una banda che è, come dire, è al servizio della cittadinanza in quelle che sono anche le culture di questa cittadina cattolica. No? Ecco, suonare un inno come quello nostro, Viva Speranza, è commovente.
On September the 21st, which was designated by the United Nations as a time to highlight peace-making efforts around the world, a distinct group of people in southern England took time to honor conscientious objectors who were mistreated because of their beliefs during the First World War. Through the dedication of a peace garden, the Seventh-day Adventist Church in the United Kingdom honored the 130 British Adventist men who were imprisoned, beaten, and threatened with capital punishment when they chose to honor the Sabbath and refused to bear arms. The ceremony took place at the Adventist Church located in Stanborough Park, England, which is where many of the Adventist men from the nation who served lived during that time. Among those who attended the opening ceremony and cut the ribbon for the garden was Garth Till, whose father, Willie Till, was one of the 14 men who were imprisoned, severely beaten and mistreated at Military Prison No. 3 in Le Havre, France. Before Victor Hulbert was elected to be the Director of Communications for the Trans-European region of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, he served the same role for the Church's territory in the United Kingdom. While there, he researched and discovered the 130 Seventh-day Adventist conscientious observers and produced a documentary about their persevering faith. During the ceremony, he took time to also expand on the significance of honoring those who stayed true to their beliefs.
And that's why the thought came together we should have a peace garden, not just to remember the 130 Adventists or the wider Watford community, of which the Quakers are a very important part, or the wider community in the British Isles of the 16 or 20,000 conscientious objectors, but peace as a spiritual message where people can spend some time in the garden, can remember the past, can think of the present and the hope that we have for the future.
Also in the spirit of honoring Adventist conscientious objectors, the Seventh-day Adventist Church in North America recognized how a major motion picture directed by Mel Gibson, will present the church with a, quote, unique and unprecedented opportunity. The film Hacksaw Ridge, which will be released on November 4, highlights the life and heroic acts of Desmond Doss, the first conscientious objector to receive the U.S. Congressional Medal of Honor, the highest military distinction in the nation. In a statement released last week, leaders from the region said, quote, while a graphic portrayal of the realities of war, Hacksaw Ridge paints a stirring portrait of the resolute manner in which Doss lived his faith, even while living through the horrors of the battlefield. The statement went on to say, quote, the North American division of the Seventh-day Adventist Church appreciates the care and attention to detail brought to the telling of Desmond Doss's unique, unparalleled story of faith by the filmmakers in the production of Hacksaw Ridge, end quote. Visit news.adventist.org to read the full statement. While there, you can also read a commentary about that film that is written by John Bradshaw, the speaker-director of It Is Written, a supporting ministry of the Adventist Church.
In last week's episode, we shared an overview from a health fair that was organized by the headquarters of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. The community outreach provided free vision and dental services to more than 400 people. In addition, the My Whole Life Health Fair and Clinic also gave guests a chance to receive spiritual counsel and the opportunity to participate in physical activities. The Adventist Medical Evangelism Network, or AMEN, sent this report.
We are here at the home of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, a worldwide church, but that has its headquarters here located in Silver Spring, Maryland. We decided to have this free clinic to invite the community here into our own home, give them a taste of the story of the Adventist Church here in the Visitor Center. They could walk through and see a history diagram of the Adventist Church. So all these little pieces were all about how can we touch your heart with a message of hope and healing and wholeness that the Lord has given to us and that we want to share with you because we want to share the love of Christ with you.
It's really a blessing, and I thank God for that I'm able to come, and I thank God for the organizers and for organizing this kind of things for people, you know. It's great. May God bless them all. The people are so nice, and I'm thinking of coming to the service, and I like the church. I think I like it.
What have been some of my memorable experiences today? I guess, first of all, talking with the runners, talking to some of our senior citizens, to see them out here in the hot sun, waiting to get medical care and treatment, just encouraging along the way. That was a blessing indeed to me. It's made me a better chaplain by being here today.
We're here to serve, and that's what Jesus says, to serve. And this event is just nothing but an action in love. That's all it is, just an action in love for us to serve those who need something. And today, it's all about health. If you need vision, we have glasses for you. And if you need dental, and you're having a problem with dental, we have dentists here to serve you. If you're just here for physical activity, because we need to keep our bodies moving, we have activities for that as well. The reason why we picked AMEN to come in, we've heard wonderful things about AMEN. They've served other cities in America of people who need vision and dental care. And what better way to include this as part of our health fair than to have AMEN here to help provide vision and dental care.
I think that one of the important things beyond this wonderful event, which oftentimes we can do and may happen once a year, like for instance here it's happening once a year, is to improve on the way we follow up with people locally. Like now we have a database of people that came in, right? So what's going to happen with these people? Helping connect them with, you know, others in maybe local churches around, and somehow connect with these people I think oftentimes we miss that opportunity when we do a large event. I think we have great opportunity to see fruits if we are able to do that with the people that came.
Next year we'll need more volunteers, but your involvement, your commitment, your time, it's absolutely necessary because it makes a difference in the lives of people. There's people sick, people in pain, people that need support, people that need help, and we need you. We need your involvement, we need your commitment, because without you, it is not possible to do an event like this.
Young people in Pasay City, Manila shared hope and happiness to the homeless in their city. Leaders of the Seventh-day Adventist Church not only recognized their efforts, but also took up the charge to minister alongside them. On September 18, Saul Samuels, the president of the church's territory in the Southern Asian Pacific region, and Lalaine Alfanoso, the church's health director for the same territory, encouraged the team from Five Loaves Ministry as they prepared to share God's love throughout the city. The youth were encouraged to share, help, inspire, nurture, encourage, or shine. The team of volunteers passed out bags with breakfast food, clothes, slippers, and even hygienic supplies. Samuel said, quote, "As long as you're willing to share half of your bread to those in need, God will always replenish what you have given away. I appreciate the simple things our church members are doing to reach out to people, showing their total involvement to the mission of the church. If each member can do this, we will have great impact toward other people," end quote. The Five Loaves Ministry has offered food to the homeless on a weekly basis since 2007.
In Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire, more than 120 local children are now equipped for their new school year with much-needed supplies, thanks to the efforts of the Seventh-day Adventist Church's headquarters in the region. The Children's Ministry Director for the church's West Central Africa Territory, Sasau Almabuke, organized a donation ceremony to provide school materials to children in need. She said Children's Ministries, quote, intends to provide support for children in need for a successful 2016 school year, end quote. More than 500 people supported the initiative, including the singing group Le Rosungwa de l'Espoir, which also sponsored the event. Local religious and political authorities also attended and supported the donation drive.
Thanks to the efforts of the Adventist Development and Relief Agency, more than 4,000 households in the Dominican Republic received vital information on executing preventative measures against mosquito-borne diseases. More than 1,200 volunteers were trained by ADRA to deliver a 6-month intervention program to help residents protect themselves from potentially fatal diseases caused by the dengue fever, chikungunya, and Zika viruses, which are all transmitted through mosquito bites. The volunteers distributed educational materials and chlorine kits and also removed mosquito breeding sites in homes. According to the director of ADRA, Dominican Republic, Luis Miguel Acevedo, the initiative was part of an ongoing interventions across the island that ADRA has coordinated with the National Ministry of Public Health every year. He said, quote, "Our plan is to continue working with the Ministry of Public Health for prevention interventions in communities across the island and work with a program that can assist those affected by the Zika virus this year," end quote. Acevedo also said throughout the 6-month period, the volunteers removed more than 50,000 breeding sites in the more than 12 communities.
Coming up, an Adventist Sporting Academy in the United States celebrates its 70th anniversary.
But up next, Adventist leaders partnered with medical professionals to serve the disenfranchised in Pretoria, South Africa.
Olá, meu nome é Viviane e falo português. Existem muitos vídeos legais, mas poucos são traduzidos. Você pode ajudar.
Join the Amora translation and caption team today. Amora is easy to learn and fun. You can volunteer in your free time. Join this community today and provide great content in your language.
Welcome back.
And now we have more news from our global church community.
In addition to encouraging Adventist members in the church's Southern Africa Indian Ocean region to find ways to reach their communities through service, the leaders for the church's territory also organized a way to practice what they preach. The leaders worked in partnership with health professionals and local political leaders in Pretoria, South Africa, to provide medical, physical, and spiritual care to an isolated community. The Southern Africa Indian Ocean Division sent this report.
I'm here to help you understand. Just close your eyes, give me your hand.
If you let your heart go, you'll see them smile. Give a second of your time or a little while.
We're fighting hunger in South Africa. Our very children are the future. We can bring a little joy to the world, to every newborn child, every boy and girl. Wheels keep turning, the fire keeps burning. Gives a taste of love, a taste of love, taste of love that you can feel.
You know, these people who are sitting, we are staying in here, they are suffering. Some are not working. They help us with food, giving to people who are suffering. They teach us Bible studies.
The church came up and the church is living up to its role as not only preaching but being practical. The church is contextualizing religion really to meet what the normal people face regardless of their religious beliefs.
I know that God has given us a right recipe for good living. To exercise, to eat right.
This is a project which ignites in us the motto of the Adventist youth. The love of Christ compels us. We want the community not just to hear about Jesus. We want them to feel, experience, and see Jesus.
Jesus went to where the people are. He ministered to their needs, he won their confidence, and then he introduced them to the kingdom of God. This is what the Seventh-day Adventist Church is doing.
The community has been hard hit by El Nino and the drought, which has been going on for the past 3 years or so. We decided supplying some jerry cans to assist the households, about 1,000 of them, to have sufficient household-based water storage.
Thank you so much. There are people who are bringing water every day with a tank. We're 5. Yeah, it's their mothers and me and their 2 children. Of course, it's going to be helpful. It's not enough, but it's better than nothing.
We are so happy that we can be used by God to serve the community.
These guys are the people that are almost neglected because nobody comes here more often than not. So we are even giving them, there's a free education on health. And even the dental team is also here to take care of that. Even the ophthalmologists are also here to make sure that their vision is taken care of.
As a team, we are here to offer oral health services to the community.
Some of these people are really, really ill, like really ill, and some of these people just want to check that everything's okay because, normally you just want to go to a doctor and just hear, is my blood pressure fine, is my glucose fine, all of that, and that's what they can do here today.
I want to know my status.
The people are scared to come and test, well, out of the stigma problems. But I saw when the program director made it very easy for them to come up.
We have seen church members, doctors, nurses, specialists acting together as the hands and feet of Jesus Christ on this blessed Sabbath day.
This represents what Christ would have done had he been here.
All of this is with the idea of us bringing Jesus into the community through the ministry of touching their lives in a practical way.
Nestled in the woods in the U.S. state of Pennsylvania lies the only predominantly African-American boarding high school within the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Earlier this month, Pine Forge Academy celebrated its 70th anniversary of providing quality Christian education. AEC Today sent this report.
Pine Forge Academy celebrated 70 years during its past alumni weekend. The theme was A Legacy of Excellence. Transitioning to the worship service, alumni stood proudly when they heard their respective class called. There's absolutely nothing like that PFA pride. Alumni and friends were then welcomed by various officials, including AEC President Henry Fordham. And the signature sounds of the Academy were heard as the present choir joined the alumni mass choir in singing various selections. One special guest was Linda Johnson Robb, daughter of the 36th President of the United States, Lyndon Baines Johnson. She was honored by members from the class of 1966 for her father's commitment to passing several civil rights laws that greatly impacted that class. Michael Jones, former Academy instructor, was recognized by the Pine Forge Academy Foundation for over 30 years of service. And then it was time for the word, brought to us by the class of 1966 alum, Chaplain Barry Black. He spoke on the subject, Striving to be First by Finishing Last. After a full weekend of celebrating the school's 70th anniversary, many met the light of heaven's sunshine through the tall, majestic trees, and hearts were quickened as they reflected on the legacy and future of Pine Forge Academy.
The Mexican city of Villahermosa is perceived to be one of the most insecure cities of the nation. In response, Adventist leaders recently organized an event to encourage Seventh-day Adventist youth to making a lasting impact in the community. Nearly 600 Pathfinders from the city's state of Tabasco held banners and signs that highlighted the importance of upholding moral values during a historic march throughout Villahermosa. The president of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in southern Tabasco, Jaime Velasquez, he spoke on why it was important for the youth to share the significance of biblical-based convictions. He said, quote, "Our main challenge in Tabasco is making the Adventist youth known as different citizens committed to God and society, looking to model values like honesty and respect," end quote. According to the youth leader for the church's territory in southern Tabasco, Victor Martinez, many passers-by noticed the marchers and asked how their youth could join the Pathfinder clubs. The Pathfinders also went to a popular plaza to distribute pamphlets on various topics, including what happens after death, forgiveness of sins, the second coming of Christ, a day of rest, and the mortality of man.
And finally, in the news this week, on Saturday, October the 1st, the world headquarters of the Seventh-day Adventist Church will launch the official website of the film Tell the World. The film shows how a group of humble farmers in the United States endured bitter disappointment and challenges on their journey to fully understand the truth found in the Bible. Their efforts would go on to make the cornerstone of the Adventist denomination. The film will be released on October 22nd to mark the anniversary of the Great Disappointment in 1844, which was when the church's pioneers misunderstood biblical prophecy and thought Christ would return on that autumn day. For those who want to host screenings of the film in its entirety or in various shortened formats, there will be an option to register the event on the film's website. Once registered, visitors will receive marketing materials and digital copies of the full-length film. The film divided into 6 episodes, and the film divided up to 22 short clips on various themes. For more information, visit adventist.org/telltheworld.
Coming up, find out what happened this week in Adventist history.
May I work in with you, young fella?
Yeah. Go for it.
That's the way you do it. Got to put a little weight on it. But I'll put it back up here for you.
And finally, for today's program, let's turn to Henry Hilton for a look at Adventist history.
This week learned how the denomination officially got its name.
This week in Adventist history, we note a very significant event that took place over 150 years ago. It was on October 1, 1860, that the name Seventh-day Adventist was chosen. There was pressure to choose a name as a church was not able to own property because it was not legally incorporated. Additionally, the 3,000 plus believers needed a response to give when questioned on their denomination, and a number of churches had already chosen different names for their congregations. Consequently, 25 delegates met in the town of Battle Creek, Michigan, to tackle the challenge of adopting a name. After several days of dialogue and debate on the matter, it was David Hewitt, who was known at the time to be the most honest man in Battle Creek, who ultimately suggested the name Seventh-day Adventist. After a lengthy discussion, the name was voted by a margin of 24-1. Ellen White, in Testimonies for the Church, Volume 1, noted that the name Seventh-day Adventist is a standing rebuke to the Protestant world, and that it highlights a distinction between the worshippers of God and those who worship the beast and receive his mark. The name Seventh-day Adventist is reflective of the beliefs of the church. Seventh day refers to the biblical Sabbath day of rest as established in creation, mandated in the fourth commandment, and observed by Jesus during his incarnation. The word Adventist highlights the advent, the second coming of Jesus Christ. Together, the name therefore speaks to the gospel, which is salvation in Jesus Christ. And that was this week in Adventist history.
Thanks for watching ANN. Join us next week for more news from the headquarters of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
In the meantime, join our global conversation on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can connect with Adventists worldwide through more stories, photos, and videos. Visit Facebook/Adventist News, Twitter @Adventist Church, and Instagram @Adventist Church.
Our good news for this week comes from the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 58. The passage says, "So, my dear brothers and sisters, be strong and immovable. Always work enthusiastically for the Lord, for you know that nothing you do for the Lord is ever useless."
That's our program for this week. And remember, you can always visit news.adventist.org for daily news and videos. Until next time, God bless.
Take care.